Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are talking about Elon and Trump starting the MOASS, exposing the shorts, and many more in this video. Firstly, we're taking a look at this. You can see this guy says, the comment says it all. Now, what it is someone gave the reasoning of the Consolidated Audit Trail is an unnecessary database that exposes American investors to cybersecurity risks. And so that's why they want to prevent the CAT system, because they're saying that it's obviously exposing, and I guess in this case, mostly the retail investors to cybersecurity risk, to foreign adversaries and criminal hackers. But now that logic obviously doesn't make sense, because when you take a look at what it actually does, is that the Consolidated Audit Trail is a gravely needed database that exposes wealthy villains who manipulates the market to oversight and accountability. And that's what the CAT system has been doing. When we've had the CAT system implemented, we've seen how many errors of trades that there have been made. Recently, we covered that in just one day, over $8 billion of trade error actually occurred. And that's something that we wouldn't have known. And we always knew there was something going on, but we wouldn't have known precisely what was happening. But with the CAT system, we obviously have that exposed. You can further see how this is a big logic fail. Individual brokers already have all retail personal info at potential risk from hackers. The fact you use future hackers as a threat is laughable. It's not about retail being exposed, but hedge fund activity being exposed, retail's won't CAT. And so, everyone already understands that we, the retail, can only buy from these public brokers, whether, people are buying from Robinhood, Webull, or Charles Schwab, or whatever it is, we're buying from these brokers. And their database has already shown in the past how it could obviously be exposed. And we have seen how these data, not only is it available for these hackers to obviously hack into, but you can also see Citadel spent $1 billion to get your order flow. PFOF should be illegal. And so we see how Citadel Securities paid $943 million for retail US equity options order flow in 9 months. So what they're saying is that they don't want a database that exposes American investors to these people. But what they are saying is that if you pay 900 million, you can feel free to obviously get everyone's orders, because that's precisely what Citadel did. Now remember, this isn't something that's getting banned. This isn't something that's illegal. This is something that they have been doing and will continue to do until obviously something happens. But what they're saying is that we don't want the CAT system to expose everyone's privacy. But as long as you pay for it, we allow you to do so. And so you can see how this isn't really to protect the American investors. And really, this is to protect the hedge fund activity that are being exposed. And that's why we are seeing this. And again, it's why I talked about how ridiculous the judgment is to be made. And, why there is no protections for retail investors. So yesterday we talked about this in terms of about how Trump/Musk may be the ones who starts the MOASS because of what could be happening. Now the reason why I say this, and something else that you could be looking at, obviously this is a play on words, but I think it's important to note is that everyone thinks MOASS means mother of all short squeezes, but it actually may end up being Musk orchestrates AMC short squeeze. And so the reason why this is, and again, this is obviously a play on words, but the reason why I say this is because of what we've seen. Firstly, we've seen Elon Musk's view on short selling before. You can see he said here, bravo, right thing to do, short selling should be illegal. And the reason why he's obviously said this is because we've seen his opinions in the past. We've seen how Tesla was obviously a victim of naked short selling, of spoofing. And so these are practices that are used to artificially bring down the price of a stock. It isn't something that is actually reflecting what the market is thinking. It isn't reflecting the market sentiment, but it's something that firms use to manipulate and benefit for their own self-interest. And so Musk is obviously not a fan of short selling. And we've seen how, again, going to here, how Doge, obviously led by Musk, is doing all of these things. And they're auditing all of these different departments. We've seen how they're going to be auditing SEC. And so what we could be seeing is actually regulations to attack these short sellers. regulations such as the CAT system obviously being fully implemented to an extent where no one can stop it, where it shows exactly what we've always wanted to show, and again exposes the activities by these hedge funds. And so that's why it could be that Musk orchestrates the AMC short squeeze, and that's why we said about his view on short selling. But another thing is seeing this. So Donald Trump has actually retruthed, which is the equivalent of obviously reposting on X, this particular post. And so this post and what it talks about includes, so you can see what it says here. Hat tip to GME and AMC investors for exposing Wall Street corruption on an unprecedented level. It's time to apply lessons learned to the most feared company on the market, one with a future and fundamentals, and one that also restores our voice. And what we can see is just understanding in terms of what Trump's view is. The very fact that he reposted this, remember, now it obviously has talked about some other companies as well. We can see DWAC, Truth Social, Facebook, TMTG, but it's important to understand that in this particular post, it obviously talks about the corruption. It talks about how we have exposed Wall Street, about what the unfairness has been done to not only GME and AMC, but the overall retail investors as a whole. And so that's why, again, going back to what we talked about here, when we see what Musk's view are on short, when we see what Trump's view are on the Wall Street as a whole, we've seen his opinion on Ken Griffin. We know that they are obviously not friendly with each other. We're seeing how, Doge are obviously auditing this department. And remember, now that Trump is obviously in office, there is a lot more in terms of power that are actually on the retail side, or at the very least that are against the short. And so this is why I'm, kind of excited. This is why I'm waiting to see what will truly be done, because we have seen the data that have been shown in the past. We can see here, the timing of the SEC's announcement to put the CAT system on a diet is certainly interesting. They announced a scale back to the consolidated audit trail on Feb 10th, a week before the shocking data release of 8 billion in trading errors shown on Jan 13th. Why would they scale back CAT knowing it was catching groundbreaking trading errors? And so you can see, we saw about how they're saying putting CAT on a diet, and then we've shown this screenshots, which I've shown in the past before. So 8 billion in one day, 2 billion in another separate day. So in 2 days alone, there were over $10 billion worth of trades. And remember, $10 billion is a lot of money, considering in terms of what they're doing and what the effect it has on retail investors, not just the institutions with hundreds of millions, with hundreds of billions of dollars, but on retail investors who are investing their hard-earned money on what they think is a fair market to obviously improve their lifestyle or to accumulate wealth, but are facing these manipulations, are facing errors that are up to $10 billion. And remember, this is just for 2 particular days. And this stock market has been going on for a very long time. So who knows what they've done in the past? And now that we see that obviously Doge is auditing the SEC, now that we understand the view of Trump, the view of Musk, this is what we want. And potentially what we could be seeing is, of course, fairness in the market. And that's why it's a scary thing for short, because once they are getting exposed, once they can't just openly manipulate AMC, we'll see the true price reflection of AMC. And hence why the fundamentals will become extremely important. You can see Adam Marin said this: on Saturday, a dozen highest grossing AMC theaters in the US had 2 other things in common. All offer premium large format screens, and all had our best, brightest laser at AMC projectors. And this is what we have discussed in the past in terms about how AMC is improving their infrastructures, whether it's the buildings they have, whether it's the seats they're using, whether it's the food and beverages, the equipment they're using. All of these things have been improved. And of course, when these things are being improved, it will, of course, attract more viewers, it will attract more audiences, which will reflect on the revenue. And we've also seen how by actually improving some of the equipment, it actually cuts down operating cost. And so this is obviously going to increase the profitability, and is why we've talked about the understanding the bullish AMC fundamentals. You can see under the AMC Go plan from November 2024, AMC theaters will spend $1 to $1.5 billion over 4 to 7 years to improve its theaters. So that's about $142 million to $375 million per year. So you can see that they're spending this amount of money, which I definitely think will have a great ROI. And what we can also see is as the fundamentals of AMC improve, we're going to be seeing, when we get to a fairer market, a better price reflection of what AMC is worth. You guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.